Okay, this is warm-up classwork video 916 for period 7, or whoever wants to watch it to help you understand how to do the Desmos maybe a little bit better. But here we go. You need to know that any fraction is a ratio. This is comparing 10 to 12. If I want to find the value of this ratio, I take 10 and I divide it by 12. If I do that on my calculator in that exact order, it will give me the value of this ratio, which is 8.33333 repeating. So we write that as 0.8, and we put a little bar over the number that keeps repeating over and over. So that is the value of that ratio, 10 to 12. You need to know that equivalent ratios have the same value even though they have different numbers. I could take that 10 and 12 and I could do math to it. As long as I do the same exact math top and bottom, I could times or multiply by any number as long as I do it same top and bottom. That gives me fractions or ratios that even though they have the different numbers to them, like 5/6, that has the same value as 10/12. I guarantee you, if you divided 5 by 6, you would get that same 0.83. First word is fish, of course, fish. For these words, fish. So for that one, you also need to know that 10/12, you could do things like times by any number you want. As long as it's the same top and bottom, we'll keep that ratio what we call equivalent. That's 40/48, which again, if you divided those two, I guarantee you would get that same value of 0.83. All right, you also need to know that these equivalent ratio problems can work like this. We could give you a couple fractions, like 15/20. We could give you parts of another one over here. We'll make this 60, and it's going to be up to you, and because you're smart, to see what you're doing to a couple of numbers to figure out what to do to that last number to get the missing number. So for this, you're looking at what I'm doing to get from this 20 to this 60. Focus on that. What did it take to do that 20 to get 60? And if you're looking more and more, it looks like you're timesing by 3 right there to do that. So that means to keep this ratio equal, I got to go over there to that 15 and times that by that same 3. And when I do that in my calculator, 15 times 3, it will give me the number that goes in that blank spot that makes both these equivalent now. Now these are fully equivalent. 15 divided by 20, if I found the value, will give me 0.75. 45 divided by 60, if I found the value, 0.75. Second word is shark. Shark. All right, last one. For the Desmos here, you're going to be looking at tables like this, but they are equivalent ratios, where you're looking at what you're doing either side to side or up and down. So again, I could look side to side here and see what I'm doing to this 10 to get that 20, but of course looks like I got to go backwards here, which is division, or I could look up and down, see what I'm doing to this 5 to get this 10 and do the same. All right, so here's how it's going to work on this one. For this 10 right here, to get to this 5, what I'm going to do to get that is do division. I'm going to divide that 10 by 2. That will give me that 5 up there. So I go over here to this 20 and I divide that 20 by that same 2. Again, keeping that ratio the same, because again, if you do the same top and bottom or the same to exact both, you'll get equivalent ratios. So 20 divided by 2 will give me that number that has to go right there. That has to be 10 to keep that equivalent. Next one here, if I look at this 20 to 60, it looks like to get to 60, I'm timesing by 3. So I'm going to take this 10 over here and times it by that same exact number, which will give me an equivalent ratio number to put in that blank spot. So if I do 10 times 3, that gives me 30, which goes in that spot. And all those ratios are equivalent. 5 divided by 10, 0.5. 30 divided by 60, 0.5. 10 divided by 20, 0.5. If I threw another one in there, like maybe 100, to find this blank spot right here, you'd have to see again, what are you doing? Maybe to this 10 right here to get 100, or maybe over up this 5, but looks like this 10, I'm timesing by 10 to get that 100. So go over here to this 20 and times that by 10, and that will give you 200. Again, keeping these ratios equivalent. Last word is whale. Whale. Use this to try that Desmos, and then period 7, you're going to be turning this work into the sub. Good luck.